Samira, I'm not sure I understand your question, but let me try this in the hopes that I am. Um, I have here I open up a blank Excel workbook. I haven't renamed it yet. And let's just say that I'm making this up. I'm just going to save it to my desktop right now. And I'm going to call this WRIGHT Module 9, Assignment 4. There's no such thing. But that's how you should name your workbook. Okay, now I've got a blank workbook here. And I think you're saying we've got multiple problems, and each problem has a data set that you had to download from Evans. And I'm going in here. Here is the Evans data files that I downloaded. Got all these things here, and I'm just going to pick one here. Let's call it automobile quality. Enable editing so I can edit on this thing. And I've got this data here. I don't know how far down it goes. The best way to do this is just click in this little corner there, and that selects the entire spreadsheet. And then you can right click and copy. And you can see the marching ants there. That means I've copied everything on that spreadsheet. Then I'm going to go back to the new spreadsheet, a new workbook, my Write Done workbook. Click in that first cell and then Control V for paste. And I've got all of that information in there. Then I double click on the tab to get the blinking cursor, backspace there, and call it AUTODATA. And that is the name. And let's just say that that was for problem 1. There's my data. Okay, I'm going to add a spreadsheet, and let's go back here, and let's just say the next problem has beverage sales. Enable editing again on my machine, and I've got these beverage sales. I click in that corner again, right click, copy, get the marching ants, get that out of the way. I'm in my second sheet. Let's pick that first cell, Control V, Control Victor, to paste that in. And I'm going to say this is, I'm going to rename that. This is problem 2 dash BEVERA beverage data. So that's my data. And you do that for all the problem data sets that you have. I'm just going to work with these two here. And let's say now I'm going to solve my problem. I'm going to add another worksheet, and I'm going to call this, double click that to get PROB-1. So this is my problem 1, and it relates to the data. And you just solve your problem in this tab. I'm going to go here, and this would, I'm going to double click that again. Problem 2. And you solve your problem in this tab using the data there in beverage data tab. Now occasionally, let's just say we've got this data here, and I want to run a regression using Ph.D on that data, simple linear regression. I'm just going to do this real quick. Let's just say that my sales is my output, or my dependent variable. I'm going to click on sales to select that. My X variable, my predictor variable is temperature. I'm going to say that my sales are a function of my temperature, and I'm just going to click those so we'll get those 4 things. And you may or may not need those. Click Run. Now, Ph.D gives me these answers, and all of a sudden I got all these other tabs there. And in order to help yourself and to help me, what I do then is, again, click on those till I get my cursor, and I'll put a 1 there so I know that that is associated with problem 1. This data there, again, get the blinking cursor, put a 1 in front so I know that's 1. And so on. Let me get my blinking cursor, 1. Let my blinking cursor, 1. So now I've got each of those spreadsheets labeled, so I know from looking at this, this is, there it is. I'm sorry. I've got these tabs in my workbook now. There's problem 1, and what I can do, you can drag these around. I'm just going to drag that tab over so it's the first thing, and then I'm going to drag the data to make it the second thing. And then I've got my problem, my data, and then these outputs that have to do with problem 1. Problem 2, let's say I'm going to use this data again for problem 2. I messed up there, used the wrong tab. But let's just say this time I'm going to use my Ph.D, and I'm going to make a blocks plot, and my data here, I'm going to highlight the cells. First cell is label, and I want to include the 5-number summary and click OK. Now over here I've got more tabs that Ph.D has inserted. This is my 5-number summary, but this has to do with problem 2, so I'm going to double click on that to get my blinking insert cursor. Box plot has to do with number 2, so I'm going to label. And there we go. I've got my problem 2, and I'm going to move it over here so I can get it in the right sequence. There's problem 2. There's problem 2 data. I've got my 5 numbers, and let me label the box plot here. Click again to get the flashing cursor. I've got this workbook that's got a number of problems in there, but I'm looking, I know that's problem 1, whatever I worked it. There's the data for problem 1. Here's the output for problem 1. I've got 4 outputs there. And now here's problem 2 with what I worked. There's my data for problem 2, and there's my output for problem 2. And you can do that for as many problems as you're working in the homework. Most of our homeworks only have, 4 or 5 problems, but you could put 20 different problems in here. You can put that many tabs into Excel, and then of course save it. So now I've got my assignment named properly, and when your professor starts grading you, I know that's problem 1, that's the data you use for problem 1, and here's my various outputs that I needed for problem 1, that's problem 2, all my work, and so on and so on and so forth. I hope that shows you how to set up a workbook to have multiple problems, multiple tabs, so it's organized in a way that your professor and yourself can find what is what, and we'll all have an easier life. Hope this helps.